Hey, how's it going? I'm Ron.
I'm Zach.
We're from Widetrack, and you're here on Influences.
The TV series.
TV series edition this week. We're going to talk about Breaking Bad.
Which means that there will be spoilers, unfortunately, being the type of TV show that it is, where one thing leads to another.
Yep, we're going to have to, and we're probably going to be sponsored by Tim Hortons one of these days.
Not yet, but
cheers to you coffee lovers. Yes, indeed. Anyhow, Breaking Bad. Fantastic story. I think it runs 5 seasons.
yes.
It was started on AMC, I believe, in 2011 or 2012.
Something.
And went for 5 seasons. Don't quote me on that. I don't.
It went for 5 seasons, but
Yeah.
the final season was released in 2013.
Yes.
And I believe they did a season a year, although
Mm.
I have no idea, really.
Anyhow, show stars Bryan Cranston, is that his name? As Walter White, who is a high school chemistry teacher, a bit dissatisfied with his life. He's living,
Very average Joe-like.
yes, average Joe family life, relatively happy but dissatisfied and bored, and
which is, a life that if you continue on in the series you will come to find that it has not always been that way for him.
indeed, yes, there's many subplot lines revealed throughout the series that are the writing of this is just amazing, and the acting. I would highly recommend that you search on the internet for Anthony Hopkins' letter to Bryan Cranston, praising the series. It's pretty inspiring to read what Sir Anthony Hopkins has to say.
And it's all very
Nothing but praise. He just heaps the praise.
very deserving.
Very deserving. The storyline, you'll never guess what happens. It's just shocker after shocker. The acting is surprising. As soon as you get invested into a character or turned off by a character, they flip it around on you. Just like with all the best series, that you hate a character, then you gain sympathy for him, then you hate him, and it's just this back and forth. It's just an amazing series. Very inspiring to us because it instills in us kind of a sense of the unexpected. Don't just go with the obvious. The power in surprise and doing, there's certain scenes in Breaking Bad that I watch and that I like. There's a scene where they're looking for a meth lab, a place to cook meth, and the solution they come up with.
Oh yeah, by the way, we forgot to mention Walter White, the overqualified high school chemistry teacher, because he is unsatisfied with his life and because he meets a former student of his, decides to cook meth.
The key element of that, though, is he's diagnosed with terminal cancer. And so he figures, how am I going to deal with this cancer therapy and leave behind, without draining my family and leaving them with nothing? And he has the brilliant idea of cooking meth. And it takes him down a rabbit hole of this odyssey of a soul-searching, soul discovery tragedy that for the ages. It's phenomenal. And everything that happens is, you won't expect it. It's
As with the scene where they're looking for a meth lab or a place to cook,
yeah.
and you'd expect the basement of somewhere,
The solution they come up with, we won't
desolate
spoil
area.
it too much, but you would never guess. And that just continues throughout the series. So it's very much a do not choose the obvious. Find your
Actually,
own.
we can spoil it, because the very first episode starts off with this what is happening sort of scenario where you find this man in pretty ridiculous attire driving down an RV with a gas mask on and wearing almost nothing, with people passed out in the back, it looks like, with an absolute mess, only to be stopped by a ditch and hop out of the car with a gun, waiting for presumably police, where the episode then rewinds and goes back to the earlier that day.
Yeah, it's just fantastic action.
So yes, the method of cooking they chose was an RV, which was absolutely unexpected. But, however, what they tend to also do is give you sort of hints to what could happen at the beginning of each episode, to give you a sense of, aha, I bet I know what's happening in this. Perhaps it's this, but of course, being a masterfully written TV series, you 9 times out of 10 guess wrong. It doesn't stop you.
Yeah, and that's funny because I forgot about that. But the thing I was thinking of was the other solution that they came up with when they we'll let you discover that though. But anyway, all of the acting is great in this movie. There's not a weak link in the whole series. Even there was one episode that I said, what is this about? It was about a fly that got trapped in the meth lab, and I thought, wow, this is one of those kind of filler episodes, and it ended up being a pretty important episode in the series. So once again, the element of surprise, you expected one thing and they totally threw you a curve and a twist, and that is what's so inspiring about this show to us, is the quality. As I said, the letter that Sir Anthony Hopkins wrote to Bryan Cranston just says it all. To sustain the level of quality in the production and the acting
Throughout the entire series.
Throughout the entire series, 5 seasons of that, it's just phenomenal, and it deserves every single award it ever got and more. So just to kind of sum it up, check it out if you haven't. You won't be sorry. I started watching this series the same time I started Mad Men, which we'll probably get into one of these days. And at the time, Mad Men won out, and I kind of set Breaking Bad aside. When I finally did get to it, it took a couple episodes for me, but that's different for everybody.
We have to wrap it up. Daylight's burning.
Yeah, daylight's burning, as they said. But anyhow, give yourself a couple episodes. If it doesn't grab you right away, it will. Promise you. And we'd love to hear what you think. If you are a longtime fan of the show, let us know. Drop it in the comments. We got other TV shows and movies and stuff to discuss, and more bands coming your way next week. So thanks for letting us ramble again on geeking out on these things that we dig. As always, we appreciate all your support, and thanks for watching. Till next time, keep on rocking.